Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vagabond Workshop presentation of Never Tear Us Apart. This is the first of four plays that we will be presenting virtually online via the workshop program. Now, the way this works is very simple. We are going to be presenting these four plays, and whichever one seems to be getting the most attention, we will be staging it fully uh, when Vagabond Repertory Theater Company returns on stage in 2022. Now, before we begin, I have just a few notes to take care of. First of all, I'd like to thank Owen Connors, Madison Wood, and Aidan Pickett for being in this cast. All three of them did a terrific job with their roles. And there was a slight continuity error on my part for the character of Mr. Garland. I'm sure you'll all probably notice in the course of the play that Mr. Garland's voice changes from one characterization to another. Just keep in mind that this is a workshop and it is far from perfect and far from complete. Also, realize that the somewhat abrupt nature of the start to finish of the play is due to the workshop nature of the show. And if this is the show that we stage fully in 2022, there is the possibility that characters could be added and subplots could be added, etc., etc. Anyway, with that in mind, on with the play. Lights up, curtains open, on the silent hustle and bustle of another school day. Some subdued but still intense music plays as students and teachers go by in the hallway we are currently stationed at. Some are chatting with one another. Some go up to lockers to open them, either taking out or putting in books. Soon, we focus on one boy in particular who slowly walks onto the stage. His name is Simon Thompson. He is 11 years old, and from all appearances, he is not the best in presentation. His clothes are wrinkled and spotted with dirt, his face and hair are kept, and he slouches as he walks. He seems to carry with him the weight of the world on his shoulders, the weight, perhaps, of 20 worlds. He tiredly sighs as he removes his book bag from over his shoulder and places it onto the ground.
Well, time to start another fantastic day at school, I suppose.
He unzips his bag and goes up to his locker, opening it. Slowly, he removes 3 books from the bag and places it into the locker. As he does this, a second figure of interest walks onto the stage and in Simon's eyesight. This is Marissa Jenkins. She is also 11 years old and is the quintessential pretty, sweet, kind, all-American girl next door type. Her book bag is on her back, and she carries with her a trapper keeper in her hands. Simon catches a glimpse of her, and his eyes light up in awe. The book he was keep putting into his locker, still in his hand, drops to the floor as he smittenly watches her walking. It is abundantly clear that Simon has a crush on Marissa. Marissa soon sees Simon, and she gives a demure and friendly wave to him, then gently flips her hair a bit, almost unconsciously. Simon sighs smittenly and puts a hand slowly to his heart.
Ooh, Marissa Jenkins. God, what you do to me. My heart, my brain, everything.
Hi, Simon.
Hababoo.
Was that English?
Sorry, I thought I saw a bird almost fly into the window. Yeah, that would have been crazy.
That does sound crazy. So how's your morning going? Okay?
I guess so. I can't complain.
Well, that's good. Hey, did you study for Mr. Kessler's test last night?
Test?
Yes, of course, silly. Cookie Kessler's math test. You know, the one on fractions.
Oh, yeah, of course I did. Fractions. Psh, can't live with them, can't live without them, right?
Right? I know. So, hey, were we still going on for some ice cream by the park on Friday after school?
We sure are. I wouldn't miss that for anything, even if a meteor was gonna hit the Earth. Even if mutant rabid giraffes were rampaging through the town.
Simon, you're too much sometimes. I'll see you in math class, okay?
Simon silently, smittenly nods. Marissa begins to go off as the action on stage slows down. Marissa begins to walk in slow motion as music begins to play. It is Never Tear Us Apart by In Excess.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart.
During this, Marissa looks back at Simon and smiles again, waving, as Simon, dazed, waves back. He backs up a few steps in awe, his eyes not once leaving Marissa. Because of this, he does not notice he is backing into someone. He soon bumps into Francis, a large, intimidating, nasty bully in school. Francis's books fall into a heap from the bump, and he is, shall we say, less than pleased.
Hey, watch it, loser. Oh, it's you. Psycho Simon. What are you doing coming up to me like that, nut job?
Simon doesn't answer. He continues to dreamily stare at Marissa. Francis, not liking being ignored, frowns and grabs Simon by the arm, roughly turning him to face him.
I'm talking to you, psycho boy. Answer me.
Simon stares at Francis, a silent, long stare. Soon, Simon begins to smirk. He does not speak. Rather, he just stares a hole through Francis. Francis, despite his reputation as a bully, is getting unnerved by this.
What? You. Stop staring at me like that. Just act like a human for once in your life, Thompson.
Act like a human.
I'm in a really bad mood today, Thompson. So unless you want me to rearrange your face. Oh, Christ, you're a psycho, Thompson. An absolute psycho. Get a load of Psycho Simon, right, you guys? Got anything you want to say now to me? Didn't think so. You make my skin crawl. Why can't you just cower and cry like normal geeks, huh?
Francis spots Marissa, who is chatting with another girl by her locker. He looks at Simon, then Marissa again, then Simon again, then back to Marissa.
Wait, was that why you bowled into me? You were staring at that thing?
A beat. Simon slowly frowns. It looks like Francis has discovered at least one thing he can do that will upset Simon. Francis zeroes in on this and smirks.
Ooh, oh, I see. Goodness, wouldn't it be dreadful if I were to start picking on your little girlfriend, eh?
Francis marches up to Marissa and squeezes in between her and the girl she was talking to.
Ahem, Marissa, hello there.
Francis. Hello.
Mind if I cut in?
I'll catch up with you later.
The girl nods and, giving Francis a dirty look, she goes off. Marissa continues.
Francis, whatever it is you need, just spit it out and leave me alone, if you please. Francis, I'm talking to you. Answer me.
God. You might just be the dumbest girl I've ever spoken to.
Excuse me?
I mean, don't you have any courtesy at all? When a boy approaches a girl, the polite thing to do is say, "Oh, dear Francis, grace me with your kind words. I shall listen intently to you."
I think you've been hit in the head too many times. I'm not talking like some sheltered princess, you caveman.
Marissa goes to leave, but Francis blocks her path.
Move.
You forgot to say please.
Francis grabs the trapper keeper from Marissa and holds it up in the air.
What's this,
Hey, give it back.
Ooh, goodness, Marissa, it's not important, is it?
It's my trapper keeper. It has my notes for school in it. It's all organized. It took me weeks and weeks to get it in that state.
Well, I could give it back to you, though my finder's fee is, as always, $20. Count yourself lucky. I knocked down the price from 25.
I'm not just about to give you money to hand me back something that belongs to me in the first place. Just give me my trapper keeper back, you big goon.
Ooh, sorry, that wasn't the right answer. And because you answered wrong, I'm afraid that...
Francis cackles and rips apart pages of the trapper keeper and destroys it. Marissa lets out a gasp of horror as Simon frowns, looking ready to go into a frenzy.
You're gonna need to start over with your notes.
You idiot. You horrible bully. You ruined it. Ruined it. How could you?
Later, Gator. Bye, Simon.
Francis is off. Marissa sobs as she continues to gather up ripped pages. Simon races over to Marissa and begins to help her.
Marissa,
Simon?
Marissa can't help herself. She throws her arms around Simon's neck and hugs him, crying into his chest. He gently pats her back, a soothing, caring pat.
Marissa, it's okay. Please don't cry. We can try and salvage the pages.
That Francis, that horrible bully. Why does he do these kind of things to me? To anyone? Why? I worked so hard on this.
I know.
Well, thankfully, it looks like he didn't completely tear any pages. He just ripped them out of the trapper keeper.
That's good.
Well, I suppose I have something to do now after school. Put this whole thing back together. I should make Francis do it, but knowing him, he'd just cackle like the fat hyena he is and walk away.
Yeah. Maybe with some convincing. You never know. Even Francis has their limit.
I sure wish I could agree with that.
The two continue to piece together the paper silently. Quick blackout and scene change. It is now the end of the school day. Marissa and Simon walk side by side in silence, then stop center stage.
Simon, thank you again for helping me get those notes back together this morning. I was so flustered. I was afraid doing it by myself, I would have made a mistake.
Well, hey, that's what friends are for, right? I'm always there for you, Marissa. Don't ever forget that.
Gosh, you're the sweetest, Simon. What would I do without you?
Simon smittenly smiles and the two trail off into silence. Soon, out of the corner of his eye, Simon spots Francis on stage. Francis is muttering to himself as he checks his backpack.
Oh, damn it. Forgot my Spanish textbook. Mom said she'd kick my butt if I forgot it again.
Muttering to himself, Francis walks back into the school. Simon watches Francis silently, almost as if he's making a mental note that Francis went back inside. Soon, Marissa breaks the silence.
Simon, are you okay?
No, yeah, I'm okay.
Sorry, you just kind of started staring back at the school, like concentrating on it really hard. You don't miss it already, do you?
No, of course not. Just kind of got lost in thought, I suppose.
Soon, a car pulls up and honks its horn twice. Waiting in the car is Jim, Marissa's stepfather. He oozes creepiness, and it shows, from his smile to the way he dresses. He motions for Marissa to come into the car with a finger, as Marissa tenses up briefly, then relaxes and sighs. Simon picks up on this, but remains quiet.
There's Jim, my stepdad. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, sure. Marissa, why don't we walk home? Well, it's a nice day out. I'm sure stepdad won't get mad. We've known each other long enough that.
No. No. He doesn't like that kind of thing. He's very protective of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, not for nothing, but I knew you even before your parents got divorced. Don't you think you could trust me by now?
Marissa, let's go. Don't keep me waiting, girl.
Coming. See you tomorrow.
Marissa walks towards the car as Simon stares at Jim, who raises a brow and looks right back at Simon. Can I help you? What are you staring at, kid? Well? Simon still does not answer, so Jim just shakes his head and looks away, then towards Marissa as she enters into the front passenger seat. Who is that little weirdo staring at me, huh?
He is not a weirdo. That's Simon, my friend. I've told you about him several times, but you obviously don't listen.
Aren't you going to at least say hi to me?
Hello.
Hello, what?
Hello, Jim.
No, not Jim, baby girl. Daddy. I'm Daddy. Marissa tenses up, but maintains her composure as much as possible. Meanwhile, Simon continues to stare at Jim. Jim, almost feeling Simon's eyes on him, turns back and looks at Simon. Hey, didn't your parents teach you not to stare? It's not polite. Ugh, little fucking weirdo.
Could you please not curse? I hate hearing those kind of words.
I'll talk any way I feel.
Well, my mother always said,
Is your mother here right now? No, she's not. My car, my house, my rules. Got it?
you make me sick sometimes. You really do.
You want to have another one of our private sessions tonight?
No.
Do you?
No.
No? Then shut your trap. I decided to give you a break from it tonight. But if you keep mouthing off to me, I'm going to reschedule to tonight at 8 p.m. Got it?
Got it.
Good. With that, the lights black out on Jim and Marissa, and we hear the sound of a car revving up and driving off. Simon shakes his head angrily and silently as he watches the car go. Slowly, he heads off stage as we momentarily black out for a scene change. We are back inside the school, and Francis is searching his locker for his Spanish textbook as we light back up.
Let's see. Math book, science book, history book. Jeez, where the hell is my Spanish book? Oh crap, I think I might have traded it to some 8th grader for a couple of video games a few weeks ago. Meh, screw it. I'm failing the class anyway.
He begins to zip his backpack up when suddenly we hear heavy footsteps approaching from somewhere, almost as if someone is walking in combat boots. Francis looks up from his book bag and raises a brow, hearing the footsteps.
Hello? Hello, is someone there?
The footsteps stop. Francis cocks his ear to listen. Silence. Francis shrugs and goes back to his book bag. Soon, we hear the heavy footsteps again, though this time, we hear the sound of something metal clanging against the stage along with the steps. It is a rhythmic clanging, and Francis becomes aware of it.
Who is that? Hello?
The footsteps stop, but the clanging noise continues.
What the hell? Hey, whoever's doing that, knock it off. It's really annoying.
Slowly, we soon see the source of the noises. It is a figure clad in a black jumpsuit and a small motorcycle helmet covering their entire head. The metal clanging is coming from a small grayish baton that the figure is clanging against the tiles of the school floor. Francis eyes the figure, who, almost mockingly, waves at him.
Hello, can I help you? Oh, okay. Cool, great talk, buddy.
Francis turns away, and the figure bangs the baton on the floor twice to get his attention. Francis turns back and frowns.
What's your problem, bozo? You trying to be a tough guy or something? Just screw off and go away.
The figure raises a gloved hand and slowly waggles a finger no. Francis frowns and takes a step closer.
No, huh? Nobody tells me no, you miserable little...
The figure slams down the baton again, this time a harder, harsher, more ominous clang. Francis stops in his tracks. His bravado and bullying nature has evaporated. He now looks a bit nervous.
Okay, look. Whoever the hell you are, I'm not looking for any trouble. Now, I'm going to turn around and walk away. This is your one chance to do the same. Got it?
The figure does not back down. In fact, he takes a step towards Francis, then a second, then a third. Francis backs up nervously.
Hey, back off, buddy.
A beat. He begins to quicken his pace.
I said back off.
The figure closes in, and Francis's speed walk turns into a run.
Get out of here, damn it, stop it.
The figure chases Francis down the hall. Francis huffs and puffs as he attempts to outrun the figure, but the figure seems to be just too fast. The figure raises the baton up and trips Francis, causing him to land in a heap on the floor.
Ow!
The figure raises up the baton and strikes Francis in the face several times. It is a methodical beatdown, almost as if the figure has envisioned doing this several times before.
No, get away from me. Stop.
Francis, his nose and mouth now bleeding quite heavily, whimpers in pain and fear as the figure walks over and looms upon him. The figure then kneels down and roughly pats Francis's cheek with a gloved hand twice.
Look at me. I said, look at me. I'm only going to say this once. Don't ever do anything to hurt Marissa Jenkins again. Don't bully her. Play keep away with her things. Don't lay a single finger on her. If I were you, I'd help clean up those notes of hers you messed up and get her a nice binder to put them in. Got that, fat boy? Use your words, Francis.
Yeah, I promise. I won't bully her. I'll get her a new binder. Just leave me alone, please.
We'd better not have to have this conversation again, or you'll get it worse.
With that, the figure begins to walk off, his heavy combat boots echoing through the halls as he walks off stage. The steps get lower and lower, and then silence. Francis shakily gets to all fours, then to his knees. He wipes his nose and mouth of blood, but it's like a faucet is on.
My nose. I think he broke it, and I think he knocked out two of my teeth. Help! Help! Somebody help! I just got attacked!
Blackout. It is the evening now. The stage lights up to the outside of a house. Up above, we see a light in a window. Marissa is seated by the window, running a hand through her hair, staring out at the stars. She sadly sighs as she gazes out. Soon, unknown to her, the figure steps out onto the stage and watches her from down below, obscured somewhat by shadows. Marissa sighs and speaks a soft, sad voice.
Gosh, how I wish I was one of those stars up there in the sky right now, on the wide open, instead of cooped up in this house.
The figure cocks his head as he listens. Even with a motorcycle helmet covering his head, we can sense compassion in their body language. Suddenly, a gruff, somewhat drunk-sounding voice pierces the silence. Marissa,
Yes?
get yourself ready. We're having a private session.
You promised.
I changed my mind. Get ready. Marissa looks away into her room. She is upset, horrified. Soon, she gets a resigned look on her face. She meekly vanishes from the window. The figure takes a step forward, watching, listening. A clock is superimposed on the back wall and the hands turn on it, showing that the figure watches the window for hours. Marissa does not reappear, and the figure turns and, looking troubled if their body language is any indication, goes off. The next day, at school, students and teachers come back and mill back and forth. Slowly, Marissa comes onto the stage. She puts on a happy face in front, waving and saying hello to a couple of kids. But intense, troubled sadness is just underneath the surface. Simon comes on from the opposite side of the stage. He looks very tired. He has bags under his eyes. It's obvious he didn't sleep a wink last night. Simon spots Marissa and walks over to her. She sees him and gives him a small, weak, but genuine smile.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going today?
It's fine. How about you?
Kind of tired, but other than that, I'm okay.
You look it.
I'll be fine. How are you, though? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You sure? You look kind of distracted. You want to talk about it?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. I'm here if you need me, though.
Thank you, Simon, sweetie.
Suddenly, Francis comes onto the stage. His face is bruised up, and his nose is splinted up to keep his broken nose from moving. He limps as he walks. Simon and Marissa watch him with surprise and fascination.
Francis?
Marissa.
Francis, what the heck happened to you?
Marissa, I wanted to give you something. Here.
Francis holds out a brand new binder to Marissa.
A binder to make up for the one I messed up yesterday.
New binder?
Yeah, I I felt bad for messing up the other one, so I went to the local school supply store and got this one for you. It can fit several subjects worth of class work papers in it. Here, take it. It's my gift to you.
Oh gosh, Francis. Thank you very much.
Francis, your face. What happened, buddy? You have bruises on your cheek and nose and mouth?
I tripped. I tripped and I fell on the way home from school. That's all.
You're getting really defensive, Francis. Are you sure you fell?
I'm sure, damn it. I'm sure. I'm sorry for what I did to you, okay? It won't happen again.
Okay, fine. Apology accepted.
Okay, you see? I gave her the binder and apologized. I won't ever pick on her again. So don't hurt me, okay?
Francis?
You don't even need to say anything, but whoever you were, I'm sorry. Don't come near me again.
Who is he talking to?
I have no idea.
You saw it. You all saw it. I apologized to her. I apologized.
That was bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Tell me about it. I mean, it's good to see him not acting like a jerk for once, but that was not normal.
It's like wartime. Don't ask questions.
You don't seem too concerned.
I mean, he's a bully. Looks like he's got his comeuppance. Karma, right?
I guess so.
The school bell rings. Class is getting ready to begin.
We'd better get to class. We don't want Mr. Garland to yell at us.
Yeah, the last thing I need to hear is him talking down on us. Late as usual, I see.
You kids will never amount to a hill of beans if you're always late.
The two laugh and head off stage. Blackout. Scene change. We are in the classroom of Mr. Garland, a long-winded, nasty, condescending history teacher. He is currently pacing back and forth in front of a chalkboard as several bored-looking students, Marissa and Simon among them, look on. Now, while a lot of countries seemed to believe that the Treaty of Versailles would bring peace to the world, long-lasting peace, there was no way of knowing that it would sow the seeds for World War II. As the years passed, the long-lasting economic effects of Germany having to pay retributions, as well as the ego-bruising that being made to be blamed for World War I, it planted seeds for the rise of Adolf Hitler. As Mr. Garland drones on, Simon nods off a few times, trying to keep awake, but failing miserably. He finally yawns loudly as Mr. Garland raises a brow, then eyes him. Mr. Thompson?
Huh?
Goodness, boy, I wouldn't happen to be boring you, would I? Is my lecturing today inconveniencing you at all?
Maybe.
There are titters of giggles and laughs from his classmates. Quiet! Mr. Thompson, you're not making disruptive noise, I'll readily admit, but I will not tolerate someone falling asleep while I teach. That sort of silence is just as bad as talking. If you wish to pass this class, you need to pay attention. Are we clear?
Uh-huh.
The last time I checked, you don't respond with, uh-huh. It's yes, Mr. Garland.
Yes, Mr. Garland.
All right then. Simon tiredly rests his hands on his chin and closes his eyes for a few moments, then opens them, seemingly zoning out from Mr. Garland's droning lecture. Suddenly, the lights fade out on the class until only Simon and Marissa are lit up. Marissa, much to our surprise, is suddenly done up, wearing a bit of blush, her hair styled, and some lip gloss. She slowly stands up and looks directly at Simon.
Simon, Simon, stand up and come here, my love.
Marissa, what is it? What are you doing? God, you look so pretty, but then again, you always look pretty, you.
Shh. Don't speak, Simon. Just come here and let me kiss you.
A kiss? Lips to lips? Here, in front of the whole class?
What class? We're the only ones here, silly.
Oh, gosh, we are. Marissa, I've dreamed about this moment for so long, you've no idea how.
Simon, my handsome prince, you talk way too much. Just enjoy the moment, my sweet, silly fool.
Marissa slowly does an over-exaggerated pucker of her lips, and she leans forward and daintily, gently, presses her lips to Simon's in a kiss. Simon's eyes widen in bliss, then droop close, and his arms go limp at his sides. After a few seconds of this, we soon hear Mr. Garland's voice. Mr. Thompson? Mr. Thompson! For goodness sake, Mr. Thompson! Blackout for several seconds. Soon the lights come back up, and Simon's classmates are back at their seats, all pointing and laughing at Simon, who is standing up, stone still, and kissing the air smittenly where Marissa was. Marissa is seated in her chair, watching Simon with a look of confusion and almost pity. We are now coming to realize that Simon was imagining this kiss. Mr. Garland is also back at his spot by the blackboard. He stares at Simon and speaks again. Simon Thompson, if I have to call your name one more blasted time! Simon jolts out of his daydream stupor, opens his eyes, and unpuckers his lips. The kids all cackle and point at Simon, taking glee in his display. Simon is mortified. He looks at Mr. Garland meekly. Mr. Thompson, I hope my lecture wasn't interrupting a private moment you were having.
Sorry, Mr. Garland, I was, my leg was cramping. You see, I just needed to stand up to uncramp it.
I see. I suppose you pucker your lips out and make kissy faces every time you have a leg cramp then, Mr. Thompson? The class cackles again as Marissa gives Simon a sympathetic look. The bell rings to dismiss as the class begins to file out. Mr. Garland speaks as the class exits. Remember, children, tomorrow we start Chapter 7 in our textbooks. Miss Jenkins, please hang back for a few moments. I need to speak to you in private.
Yes, sir.
Simon, meanwhile, is still on stage, staring an angry hole through Mr. Garland. Garland eyes Simon and speaks to him. I believe I said in private, Mr. Thompson? That means just Marissa and I. Perhaps you can rendezvous with and kiss your imaginary girlfriend in the hallway?
I guess I could do that. Yeah. Have a good day, Mr. Garland.
Simon gives Mr. Garland one last sinister, hateful stare, then walks off as Mr. Garland motions for Marissa to come towards his desk.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Yes, I did. Marissa. Mr. Garland holds up a stapled group of papers, indicating it is most likely a typed book report of some sort. I took a good long look at your report regarding the causes of World War I that you submitted for class a day or so ago.
Oh, wonderful! Goodness, that report was a tricky one. It took me a while to gather the right words to type, but once I got it, it was fun to think about.
Did you really take a long time to gather your thoughts, Miss Jenkins?
I beg your pardon, sir.
Miss Jenkins, I read through your report, and quite frankly, it was very, very good. A little too good, if you ask me.
Too good. It was too good. I don't understand.
I suppose I'll need to explain it to you slowly, Miss Jenkins. I have very good reason to believe you plagiarized your report.
Plagiarized? Mr. Garland, surely you can't mean that.
I surely do. Your writing was far too professional and far too interesting to come from a young lady of 10 or 11 such as you. So, I feel quite certain that you just copied what you wrote from a secondary source.
Sir, with all due respect, I've never and would never do such a thing. I care very much about my grades in school. I wouldn't jeopardize them with something like that.
Yes, your grades. You're one of the smarter young ladies in your grade. In the whole school, for that matter. Perhaps that's been your mode of getting ahead this whole time.
That's a lie. A horrible lie. I've always had a passion for writing. My mother said so.
Your mother isn't here right now, though, is she? It's just you and your stepfather, is it not? Miss Jenkins, this is a very serious thing you've done. I'm afraid I'll need to go to Principal Monroe and start proceedings to have you expelled.
Expelled? Mr. Garland, no. No. You can't do that. You just can't. I'll redo the report if it makes you feel better. Just please.
I'm afraid I can't accept that plea deal, Miss Jenkins. My mind is made up. Besides, what's to stop you from simply copying work again, The hearing will be Monday at 3 p.m. on the dot. Please make it a point to be there along with your stepfather. You are dismissed, Miss Jenkins.
Sir, please, I beg of you.
You are dismissed, Miss Jenkins.
You're not going to get away with this. You can't expel me without proof. You're just thinking I plagiarized. Won't fly with Principal Monroe.
Young lady, I am a teacher. You're a student. My word against yours. Take a wild guess who will be believed. Now then, before I lose my patience, you are dismissed. Marissa tries to speak again, but she is overcome with emotion. She sobs and runs off, out of the classroom. Mr. Garland smirks, almost relishing in making Marissa cry. He sits back in his chair, satisfied. That'll teach that little brat. Thinks she can put one over on me, huh? Serves her right, the little cheating phony. He chuckles to himself as he looks to a stack of papers and takes the top one off of the pile it's on and begins to mark it up, presumably grading a paper. A brief blackout and passage of time. It is now roughly 15 minutes or so later. Mr. Garland is still grading a paper, now a few pieces into his pile. He gazes at the paper before him with an incredulous stare. The Declaration of Independence was signed at the bottom. Good Lord, it's like the children I teach get stupider and stupider with every passing year. I'm surprised some of them can even walk and chew gum at the same time. He goes back to Mark. Though seconds later, we hear someone whistle from off stage as if trying to get Garland's attention. He looks up briefly, then shrugs and goes back to work. Seconds later, we hear a rhythmic tapping noise coming from the door of the classroom. Mr. Garland looks up, raises a brow, then frowns. Can I help whoever is doing that out there? Well? Stupid little brats tapping on the door. Just knock like normal human beings. Silence overtakes the stage. Soon, we hear the classroom door creak open ominously. Suddenly, a spitwad flies on from off stage. Splat! A direct hit on the top of Garland's head. He frowns and stands up, walking towards the wings of the stage. All right, whoever did this is gonna regret it. He peers off stage, then briefly walks down the steps of the stage and onto the area just below it. He gazes at the audience as if looking down the school hallway. Whoever it was ran off fast. Impressive. Garland walks back up the steps and back into the classroom. He gazes around briefly before noticing something is amiss. Two of those windows are open. I don't remember opening those windows. Then again, looking at all those dumb answers from those moronic kids on these test papers, maybe I did it to get some sane air in here. He walks over to the front of the stage and forces shut one window, then another. We soon hear some rummaging noises as well as, possibly, a low chuckle from somewhere on stage. Garland looks around, getting a bit spooked. What the? Is someone in here? Huh? Show yourself if you're in here. Whoever the hell you are. Silence. No movement. Ominous music begins to build up as Garland goes back to his desk and sits down. He grabs another test paper and holds it up briefly. Don't give yourself a heart attack, Peter. Just relax and grade the rest of these monstrosities passing off as test papers. Then you can go home, crack open a bottle of wine, and relax. Simply and utterly relax. Suddenly, with a jarring chord, a figure pops up from behind Garland and his chair. It is the same black jumpsuit and motorcycle helmet wearing figure that beat up Francis in the hallway a few days prior. He has wire in his hands and he wraps it around Garland's neck, corroding him like the choke. Garland, stunned, taken by surprise, struggles to get out of his chair. Get off me! What are you doing? Garland finally manages to burst out of his chair, but the figure remains clinging to him, still choking him with the wire. Garland tries to pry the figure off of him, but he soon stumbles via momentum and he crashes into a window. This causes the figure to stop choking Garland and back off a few steps momentarily. Garland covers his face in pain momentarily, his neck now bleeding from where the wire choked him. Gurgling somewhat and in pain, Garland rolls onto his stomach, panting heavily and still gurgling. The figure grabs a test paper from the desk and strolls, an almost casual, mocking stroll, over to Garland's form on the floor. With a marker he also grabbed, he writes a big F on the top of the paper in red ink and tosses the marker aside. He uses his free hand to take out a knife from his side holster, grabs Garland by the hair, and slits his throat as we get several ominous stings and blares from the music. Garland clutches his throat, lets out one last pained gurgle, then finally slumps face first onto the stage floor dead. The figure grabs the test paper he graded, which had fallen off to the side, and he slaps it onto Garland's back. Then, with an almost sinister and mocking wave goodbye, the figure calmly walks off stage, leaving Garland still on the floor, in a blackout. Mr. Garland? Mr. Garland, you okay, sir? The whole room is a mess. Oh my God! Mr. Garland! Oh, Jesus! Help! Help! Please call 911! Mr. Garland, Ambulance sirens blares, and there's general confusion. We see a body wrapped in a bag on a gurney being wheeled away via silhouette. We can only presume it's Mr. Garland. We soon hear the sound of a breaking news kind of music playing as a news anchor is heard speaking. Breaking news coming out of John F. Kennedy Middle School. There is shock and horror abound as the body of Peter Garland was found a little after 3 p.m. today. At this time, no suspects have been named, and there is no apparent motive. A janitor in the school discovered Garland face down in his classroom. There appeared to be a struggle, but at this time, police have not found any clues that could point to any person of interest. More on this story as it develops. Lights up on Marissa's house. She is sitting on her bed, watching the news on TV, absolutely shocked beyond belief. She puts a hand to her mouth, then lets it drop to her side.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Garland? Was I literally the last person who saw him alive? Oh gosh. Who on earth did this?
Seconds later, a phone is heard ringing. It is Marissa's personal phone in her room. Still in shock, she reaches over and picks up the phone, answering it.
Hello?
Are you watching the news?
I am.
Holy crap!
I know.
Did you see anything suspicious after you left that meeting with him?
No, I didn't, honestly. I was too busy crying to really notice anything strange going on.
You were crying?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what happened? Was everything okay?
It's a long story.
I always have time for you. You know that.
You sure?
Of course.
Well,
Marissa! Marissa, get off that damn phone!
I have to go.
Marissa, is everything okay? Marissa!
Marissa hangs up her phone and opens up a textbook, pretending to study. Jim walks into her room slowly. What the hell are you doing, huh?
Just studying.
Cut the crap. You were on the phone. I heard you talking in here.
I was just reading some questions out loud and trying to answer them. That's all.
Bullshit. You were talking to that little weirdo kid, weren't you?
Simon is not a weirdo. I already told you. He's kind and sweet and wonderful.
What? Was he trying to console you after your little cheating mishap?
What?
I got a call from your principal before I picked you up from school. Apparently, your history teacher had proof you plagiarized one of your assignments.
That's a lie. A horrible lie.
The two of us were supposed to meet with him and the principal on Monday. Who the hell knows what's going to happen now, though, now that someone apparently offed your teacher.
I suppose you think I did it. Why not? You already just assuming I plagiarized. Dumb as you are. Drunken and as stupid you are.
A beat. Jim roughly smacks Marissa across the face. She lets out a scream of pain and collapses onto her bed. Jim looms over her as Marissa, her cheek a deep red where Jim smacked her, tears streaming down her face, shakily attempts to crawl away from him. Don't you ever say such filthy things about me like that again, you little bitch.
Get out! Get the hell out of my room! You monster! I don't want you near me, or I'll call the police!
Jim raises his hand to strike Marissa again. She gasps and cowers. Jim smirks at this reaction and lets out an evil chuckle. He leans down towards Marissa and speaks. I'm only leaving because I want to leave, not because you told me to. With that, Jim leaves the stage. Marissa chokes out a few pained sobs, then slowly, she picks up her phone and, quiet as can be, she dials a number. She waits for whomever she has called to answer. Then,
Hello? Miss Thompson? It's Marissa Jenkins. May I speak to Simon, please? Hey, it's me, Simon. Meet me outside of my house, please. I need a friend to talk to right away.
blackout. Scene change. We are now outside of Marissa's home. Marissa has since snuck out, and she is huddled near a fence area. Her cheek is bruised from the smack. She shivers in anxious nervousness as, soon, Simon hurries onto the stage, wanting to get to his friend as quickly as possible.
Marissa,
Simon, oh Simon, thank God.
She races into his arms and hugs him tightly. She sobs as she does this. Simon is surprised, then soothing as he hugs her gently.
Marissa, I'm here. It's okay. I'm here. Shh, calm down. Oh gosh, Marissa, you're shaking. What happened? Tell me. I'm here.
Simon, I just don't know what to do. Everywhere I turn lately, something horrible is going on. First Francis, then Mr. Garland, then my stepfather.
Your stepfather? Did he do that to you?
He did, yes.
That piece of crap. I'll kick his butt.
Simon, no!
No.
What I mean is, that's very brave and sweet of you, but no. He's an animal. A horrible waste of space. He'd hurt you. I'd never forgive myself if he did that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just get really protective of my friends, especially you.
I know.
It boils my blood to see you upset. I feel so helpless. I want to do something, but when I can't, it just makes me feel horrible.
You coming here when I needed a friend to talk to and cry with is enough. Sweetie, believe me.
I'll stay here the rest of the day if I have to.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Marissa shivers from the cold as Simon takes off his jacket and puts it around her shoulders. She smiles and wraps the jacket further around her, a content look on her face finally.
Better?
Mm-hmm. But what about you? You're shivering now.
Better me than you.
Simon, from the bottom of my heart, I want you to know that I adore you immensely. You've been the best friend a girl can ever have. I'm so lucky to have met someone as sweet as you. You're amazing. Wonderful. Don't you ever forget that, okay?
Marissa smiles, leans in, and gently pecks Simon on the cheek. Simon smiles a dazed, smitten smile at this. Soon, he smiles more and eagerly puckers out his lips for a kiss. Marissa, rather than return the gesture, gives Simon a somewhat puzzled look. Simon stays like this for a few seconds before Marissa breaks the silence.
Simon? Simon, what are you doing?
I read your signals, Marissa. Loud and clear.
Ooh, now you stop that fooling around. You prankster, you. Okay, all joking aside. Why don't we go and get that ice cream now,
Simon ignores Marissa. He simply moves closer towards her, his lips still eagerly puckered out. Marissa is now beginning to see Simon is being serious, and she is now getting slightly unnerved. She gingerly moves a few steps back from his advance.
Simon, come on. Cut it out.
Simon again ignores Marissa. He puckers his lips out more and moves closer to her. She backs away, her nervousness growing.
Simon, this has started off cute, but it's not funny anymore. Stop it.
Oh, Marissa, kiss me. Kiss me like you kissed me in class.
What? Simon, I've never kissed you before.
Oh, yes, you did. In class. I remember it. And you kissed me, not the other way around.
Simon, you're starting to freak me out. Nothing like that ever happened, and you know it. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're scaring me. Stop it. Give me some space. Back off, will ya?
One kiss first. Just one.
Simon, this is really not funny. I'm not kidding. I've not had a good last few days, and this is not helping. Back off! Simon, I mean it. Don't ignore me. I said stop.
Marissa slaps Simon across the face. He stumbles a step, then meekly looks at Marissa, holding his cheek where she slapped him. Marissa's face is a mix of nervous adrenaline and sorrow for what she did.
Marissa, why did you...
Simon, I'm so sorry. I didn't want it to come to that, but you just wouldn't listen. I told you to stop and you didn't.
Marissa, do you not like me or something?
Of course I like you, but not when you act like that. Simon, I don't mean to upset you, but I like you, but only as a friend. I don't like you.
I see.
I'm sure you make some lucky girl out there very happy. Simon, but that girl isn't me. I simply like you as a friend. Please try and understand that. I know this seems like a punch in the gut, but liking someone is a two-way street. You can't just force someone to like you. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't have the same feelings for you as you did for me. You understand what I mean? You must hate me now, don't you? You not saying anything says it all.
Of course not. I could never hate you. You mean the world to me.
Okay. I think maybe we should put off getting the ice cream. Please don't be offended. It's just too much stuff happening in such a short time. I need time to process it all. Why don't you just head on home? Head on home and just relax yourself. I promise we can hang out together real soon, but I don't think it's a good idea to hang out today. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. They canceled school for the next week. So I suppose I'll see you around when I see you.
Simon nods silently. Marissa nods back and she makes her way off stage. A long, ominous silence. Simon stands stone still. He soon begins to chuckle to himself. A very unhinged, distressing chuckle.
Only as a friend, huh? Only as a friend, huh? Gosh, Marissa, that's fine. That's fine. Fine, just fine. I mean, gee, I've only done everything under the sun to make your life better. Only helped you every time you need me. But no, you just call me a friend rather than the boy you love. Yep, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Yep. Oh, me? Am I upset? No, of course not, Marissa. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Ah! Why, Marissa? Why? What do I have to do? What the hell do I have to do to get you to love me? What? I'm your hero, your knight in shining armor. I do everything for you, and you can't do one thing for me? Not one? Not one?
He pounds the stage some more. Then, almost out of exhaustion rather than getting calmer, he stops. He shakily gets to his feet and points to where Marissa walked off. He opens his mouth to speak, but no words come out. Slowly, almost in a daze, he turns and walks off in the opposite direction. Blackout. Scene change. In Marissa's room later that night, things have been oddly quiet. Marissa sits on her bed in a nightgown. She holds a stuffed teddy bear in her arms, silent in thought.
I just don't know. I don't want. I don't know what to make all of this. Simon, he's so sweet, but I don't like him in that way. A romantic way. I just see him as a friend. Did I say things in too much haste? Did I make a mistake? Maybe. I mean, he'd be a wonderful boyfriend and he's very good looking. I can't lie. But oh gosh, I just don't know. I can't even think straight. All that's happened these last few days. I think a good night's sleep will help clear my head a little. Maybe tomorrow I'll call Simon and we can discuss things in a calmer way.
She sets aside the teddy bear and yawns a bit, then gets under her covers and attempts to drift off to sleep. Soon, ominous music plays as Jim, his shadow and almost demonic-looking silhouette on the wall, peers onto the stage and into Marissa's room. He stalks up to Marissa, looms over her, then roughly shakes her awake. Get up.
What? What are you doing? I'm trying to sleep.
We need to talk.
Can it wait till morning?
No, it can't. I saw you outside talking to that little weirdo earlier.
I.
Shut up! So, you wanted me out of your room, but that little punk was free to talk to you all he wanted, huh?
I've had a very bad day. I'm not in the mood for this, so please get out of my room.
Oh, sure. I'll get out of your room. But you're coming with me.
No.
Yeah. Get prettied up. We're going into my room for a private session.
No. I don't want to. I refuse to.
It's adorable that you think you have a choice. A beat. Jim smirks and runs a hand through Marissa's hair as she inches away from him, repulsed, disgusted, horrified. Ah, Marissa, baby girl, you drive me up a wall sometimes, but my goodness, at the same time, you're just so lovely, just like your mother. Beautiful eyes, curly blonde hair, sweet pouty lips. Man, I love it. And speaking of which, wear that cherry chapstick I see you use. You know how it drives me wild. Jim backs away and leaves the stage. Marissa is numb, almost ready to cry out, to scream, anything. But she bottles her emotions in and, almost in a zombie-like state, fighting back tears, she gets up and walks off stage as well. A quick scene change and we're in Jim's room. He sits on the bed and watches as Marissa walks on, emotionless, cold, distant. Come on over and get comfy.
Let's get this over with.
Yes, let's. Jim gets up and goes to take Marissa in his arms when suddenly we hear the sound of glass breaking. Marissa is startled. Jim looks around in confusion.
What was that?
How the hell should I know? We hear more glass breaking, then the sound of heavy combat boots hitting the floor.
That's coming from my room.
Someone breaking in when I'm trying to have fun, huh? Not on my watch. Jim goes to his dresser and pulls out a small pistol, then points to Marissa. Do not move from this room. Not 1 inch. I'll be back. Jim exits the room. Silence. Then, Marissa hurries over to the phone and quietly picks up the receiver. She dials a number, then anxiously waits.
Hello, 911. My name is Marissa, and I'm terrified. My stepfather is attempting to... He's gonna hurt me real bad, and I don't have much time. I don't know how much time I have left before he comes back. I live at 235 Bernardo Drive. Please hurry, I'm scared.
Who the hell are you? Get back! Get back! Ah!
No, what's happening?
Ah! Ah! Little bastard stabbed me!
What's going on out there? What is it?
Marissa doesn't have to wait long to find out. Soon, Jim stumbles onto the stage, clutching his leg, which is badly bleeding. Marissa screams as Jim falls to the side of the bed, out of sight from the viewing audience. Oh! Oh!
Oh my God.
Call the police! Soon, the figure stalks onto the stage, brandishing a bloodied knife. Marissa scrambles away from the figure, who pushes past her and over to the fallen Jim. He looms over Jim, then raises up the knife. No! 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 The figure stabs down into Jim's chest, once, twice, then 3 times. Jim lets out a gurgled scream each time as Marissa watches in horror, too scared to even scream. Soon, Jim's body goes limp. He is dead. The figure stands up and wipes off the knife gently, then turns his attention to Marissa. He slowly walks towards her as she cowers in fear.
Stay back. Please stay back. I promise I won't tell anyone. I won't tell the police anything. Just don't hurt me.
The figure stops and stares at Marissa, giving her a good, long look. Soon, the knife drops from their hand and falls to the stage. The figure, trembling a bit, beckons Marissa closer. She hesitantly stares back at it. Does she dare? She's too scared to disobey. She timidly walks towards him.
Who are you? Do you know me? Do I know you?
The figure nods silently. Marissa hesitates, but soon she reaches her hands out towards the motorcycle helmet. She stops momentarily, but, seeing as how the figure isn't making any moves to grab or hurt her, she reaches out again. Slowly, she grabs the helmet and pulls it off for the figure. It should come as no shock to the audience that it is Simon. Marissa drops the helmet in shock as Simon looks blankly at her.
Simon?
I just wanted to protect you. I love you.
Simon, oh my god.
Marissa, did I do a bad thing? Did I?
Oh god. Oh god, Simon, yes. Yes, you did. You did a terrible thing.
Simon reaches out to touch Marissa, to hug her. She backs away from him and shakes her head no frantically. Simon is shocked at this. He trembles and falls to his knees. The police sirens grow louder and more shrill as the red and blue lights reflect off the walls, off of Simon's shell-shocked and pale-looking face, Marissa's face, everywhere it seems. We hear car doors open and shut, and frantic shouts of police officers. The cacophony of sounds builds and builds, louder and louder, and then, just as it reaches a fever pitch, we black out, and the sounds cease abruptly. Epilogue, 6 months later. Lights up on the corridor of what appears to be a hospital-type setting. A backlit sign pops up on the wall of the stage. It reads, St. Dymphna's Mental Health Facility and Hospital. We hear a door open up from offstage, and slowly, Marissa walks on, followed quickly by a doctor, who is about a step or two behind her. The doctor is holding a clipboard and reading from it as the following conversation ensues.
Dr. Colin, thank you very much for giving me some time to talk to Simon today. I really appreciate being allowed to see him, even for only a few minutes.
Of course, Marissa. Now, your grandparents are waiting outside in the car when you're ready to go, correct?
Yes. Yes, they are. Doctor, about Simon, is he okay from 6 months ago? I mean, from the night he came into my house and killed my stepfather?
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no.
Simon has made a few little pieces of progress, small strides and victories since he became a patient here. He's thankfully not the same person he was on his first day here. For example, he has acknowledged that he was indeed the person who murdered Mr. Garland, your teacher. He no longer denies it. However, on the other side of the coin, he still doesn't feel he did anything wrong by his actions 6 months ago. He still clings to the belief that it was all done to help you, his friend, who, I might add, he still declares his love for from time to time.
Gosh.
If there's a silver lining, though, it's the fact that placing Simon in our care here at this facility got him out of a very horrible home situation. While he was hesitant to admit it at first, Simon has acknowledged now, bit by bit, that his parents were rarely, if ever, home. They were always out drinking or doing drugs. Simon, for all intents and purposes, took care of himself most of the time. In fact, when we contacted his mother to alert her that Simon was being taken here, all she said on the phone was, "Good. One less problem I have to deal with." Then she hung up.
It does make a lot of thoughts I have about him make sense. He would always come up with an excuse not to go to his house. It was either my house or a neutral site. He always seemed to wear the exact same clothes over and over, too. Wrinkled ones that, in a way, I admire that he was able to do all the things he did to keep himself going all these years. But still, poor Simon. No mother or father. Who gave a heck about him at all? The few times I ever spoke to them, either in person or on the phone, they were just so disinterested about Simon, so uncaring.
Now, in preparation for your arrival, we've given Simon a mild sedative to calm him, so while he'll be able to carry on a conversation with you, he'll most likely be a bit groggy and dazed. But just remember, if he does begin to lash out, if he does try and act in a way that makes you upset or nervous, an orderly and myself will be right outside the door to come in and assist you. All you'll need to do is press the Alert Orderly button located underneath the table he's sitting at.
That sounds easy enough.
Well, he's right through this door. Do you need a moment to collect your thoughts before you go in?
I think I'm ready.
Very well. Marissa, you're a very brave young lady to be doing this. Just remember, we're all just a button press away. Don't get nervous. Despite his condition, he still technically sees you as his friend.
Of course.
With that, Marissa opens a door that leads into a recreation room, which is situated on the other side of the stage. Slowly, the lights fade up on Simon, who is seated at a table with 2 chairs. He is dressed in a white shirt and gray sweatpants. At present, he is working silently, groggily, on a puzzle that's been placed on the table. Marissa slowly, calmly, nervously approaches the table. Soon, she sits down in a chair across the table from Simon.
Simon?
Who is it?
It's me. Marissa. I came to see you. I came to see how you were holding up.
Marissa? Oh, hi. Gosh, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. How are they treating you here, Simon? Are you doing okay?
Me? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing okay. It's mostly just me talking to the doctors throughout the day. And when I'm not, I come in here to relax. I do puzzles, I draw, I write, I meditate. You know, things to help me relax.
Well, good. Excellent. I'm glad you're doing okay. Simon, the doctor didn't really mention if I'd be allowed to ask you this, but I'd kind of like to know a few answers directly from you. But I need you to promise me you won't get upset. Promise me you'll tell me the truth. Okay?
Well,
Simon, promise me.
I promise.
Well, my first question, I kind of already know the answer to it, but I want to hear it from you. Was it you who beat up Francis and made him apologize to me and give me that new binder?
Yes.
I had a suspicion. You really did seem like you knew something. I didn't that day when he came up to us. And didn't seem to care all that much about it after Francis ran off. I had meant to confront you about it, but with everything else that happened, it slipped my mind. Simon, that day in Mr. Garland's classroom, the doctor says you admitted you killed Mr. Garland. Did you really? Is that what happened?
I certainly did.
Oh gosh.
I waited outside of the classroom and I listened by the door. I heard everything he said to you, especially about trying to expel you for plagiarism. Who did he think he was, thinking you cheated? You're the smartest girl in our whole grade. I knew from the start that report you wrote was your own words. All of it. I wasn't about to let him get you thrown out of school. So, after you ran off crying, I put on my black jumpsuit and motorcycle helmet, crept into the room, and well, I made him pay for it.
Just like that, huh?
Just like that.
I see.
Was that all you wanted to know?
I had one more question, and again, I want the truth from you. Promise?
Cross my heart.
Simon, that day when I said I only liked you as a friend, and I went into my house, that night, and you broke in, I know you killed Jim, my stepfather, but were you originally going to kill me instead? Simon, please tell me the truth. I can't live with the uncertainty and the what ifs in my head anymore. I need to know for sure. It'll give me a peace of mind that if you tell me the truth. So please, for me,
I had planned on it, yes.
oh Simon, no.
Marissa, when we were outside your house that day, when you kissed me on the cheek, I thought it was a sign you loved me as much as I loved you. And when you didn't want to kiss me on the lips and even slapped me for it, then told me you only liked me as a friend, it tore me apart. I felt betrayed. I felt used. Here I was, always there for you, and you tossed me aside like trash. So, yes, that night I had planned on creeping into your room and getting rid of you there. I had planned on making it look like an accident, but when I saw you weren't there, I saw you were instead in your stepdad's room, and that piece of garbage had planned on doing who knows what to you. I changed my mind. I had a change of heart. I was very angry at you, but in that moment when I saw you were in trouble, big trouble, I had to save you. So instead of stabbing you, I stabbed your stepfather, and it felt good to do it. I have to confess. Truth be told, I had always kind of fantasized about killing him, considering the way he always treated you. What's wrong? Why aren't you saying anything? Marissa, say something to me. Please say something.
Simon, I'm not sure what I could possibly say. I admit I hated my stepfather. Hated him to death. But to do that to him, you claimed you loved me, but you were prepared to kill me. All because I simply said I just liked you as a friend. You really loved me, like you said you did. You wouldn't do something like that. I'm sorry. This isn't the time or place for me to get upset or to upset you. I just
I understand. I get it. You're not gonna come back, are you? This is the last time I'm ever gonna see you, isn't it?
I don't know.
I deserve it. I understand. I'm never gonna get out of here, am I?
I know it's terrible to hear, but Simon, I think you'll be better off being here, away from things, at least for a little while. Maybe someday in the future you'll be able to walk free. But right now where you belong is here.
Okay. Marissa, I hope in time you'll be able to fully forgive me.
I'll try. That's all I can promise.
I can live with that.
need to go, but promise me you'll take care of yourself.
I promise. Always.
Marissa silently leans in and pecks Simon on the cheek gently, then gets up and walks off stage. The stage darkens except for a spotlight on Simon. He stares vacantly at where Marissa walked off. Slowly, he begins to rock back and forth, singing softly to himself as he does.
I was standing. You were there. Two worlds colliding, and they can never tear us apart. You were standing. I was there. Two worlds colliding, and they can never tear us apart. Can they?
With that, we slowly fade completely to black. The end.